Hello, Aminder.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. We're in the same room.
We're in the same room. Hi. We are having lots of fun today. We are gathered together today. So that we can do a little episode. Because, we can't hang out now without doing this, I guess. This is what we're going to do.
Yep.
This is our life now. We're together. We should probably do an episode. This is episode 49. We are one away, folks. One away from episode 50 and our massive live. We're doing it live. Neurodivergent.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Fuck it, we'll do it live. Neurodivergent meme review. Neurodivergent meme review. Can't do that without clapping. And hi, what you're listening to is the Neurodivergent Convergence podcast. We are two neurodivergent women. We are and best friends, and we are traveling the neuroverse together because we are living in a neurotypical world. We are not neurotypical girls.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Nailed it. If you're joining us for the first time, great. So glad.
Love that for you.
Love that for you. If you are returning
champions,
you the real ones. What we do here is we have little chats about neurodivergent shit, and sometimes not neurodivergent shit, but we are neurodivergent, and this is our take on our lives and the things that we experience in life from the point of view of two neurodivergent late diagnosed women. And we just like to have little chitty chats sometimes. And that's what this is going to be. It's going to be kind of a topic, but also kind of a chat at the same time. We also like to have our fun and fuckery sandwich. So we start the show with some fun. We have our juicy middle content, and then we have some fuckery at the end. So if you do not want to stick around for the fuckery portion of the thing, you are allowed to leave, and we will let you know when that's going to start. Otherwise, let's kick it off. Are you ready?
Yes.
We get to do a Mad Lib. You ready for a Mad Lib?
Y'all ready for this?
Y'all ready for this? And you're giving me words today.
Yes.
Okay, cool. What are we doing? Second one?
Third one?
Third one?
Family reunion.
You're right. Let me find the page. Okay, ma'am. I need from y'all. Ooh, I'm going to be out of frame because I'm right-handed. We did not set this up well. It's fine. It's fine. Deal with it.
I usually right here, but
deal with it. It's fine. Okay, I need a place, please.
Resting place at the Titanic.
Oh, Jesus. Resting
starting off dark.
Place of the Titanic. Okay. Verb, please.
Suck.
Okay. We're just getting right to it. Another verb, please.
Scream.
Scream. A noun.
Bonk.
Bonk. You wanna fucking wow me? Okay, part of the body.
Gonads.
Gonad. That's one I've not heard in a minute now.
It reminds me of the the funny junk meme, or it shows a cat dancing. Gonads and strife. Gonads and strife. Gonads and strife.
Oh my god. Okay, now.
Soft shell taco.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
And nutritious.
And like it's gonna make me gain more weight. Noun.
2-in-1 shampoo conditioner.
Okay.
You have a lot of long ones.
Boo and conned. Okay. Verb.
P.S.
P.S.
Piss.
Piss? I thought you said P.S. I'm like, what?
Peace.
Okay, piss. I was confused. I'm like,
you want a piece
P.S.
You want a piece of pee?
Is that a verb? It's like I'm learning something new today. My gullible ass. Okay, noun.
Dung beetle.
Okay. Beetle. Okay, another noun. Jesus.
Exorcism. I told you there's 9 nouns in this one.
Sism. Plural noun. Fuck.
It's a longer one. Propane and propane accessories. Because when I was waiting for you to get ready on the YouTube, it had someone was talking about King of the Hill.
Saw that. Propane accessories. Another noun.
Another long one. Krabby Patty secret formula.
Krabby Patty secret formula. Okay, plural noun again.
Baby back ribs.
I want my baby back ribs. Baby back ribs. Chilies. Baby back ribs. Okay. Verb ending in ing.
Fucking.
Fucking. Okay, I was gonna say, do we know what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Say it with us, everybody.
So say it with your chest. Fucking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Another verb ending in ing.
Belching.
Belching. An adjective, please.
Crusty.
Ew. Okay. Person in room. Male.
Finnegan the fainting goat.
Finnegan. Da fainting goat. Okay. Noun.
Transformer. More than meets the eye.
Transformer. And a verb.
Gargle.
Gargle. Okay. Are you ready for the fun?
Yes.
Here it goes. We are still in our adult Mad Lib. My effing family. Or no, my bleeping family. Sorry, I like to make it more fun than it really is. Okay, this one is called Family Reunion Itinerary. Oh no, not this. Okay. Welcome to our No, let's start over, shall we? Welcome to your annual family reunion in the scenic resting place of the Titanic. Just a stone's suck away from that other place that was too expensive for some of us. Here's a partial list of family activities scheduled. 9 a.m. Rise and scream.
Every morning.
Every morning. And don't forget to wear your name tag. Enjoy breakfast with your second bonk twice removed. Remember him? He's the only one who never looks you in the gonads when he speaks. Also, when he does talk, it's about his expansive. Whoa, wow, help. Okay, we're going to try again. Okay. Also, when he does talk, it's about his expansive model soft shell taco collection. Okay, 11:30 a.m. Don a Life 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, hop in a canoe, and piss out on the lake with your brother in Dung Beetle, who loves to brag about his huge yearly exorcism and his stock. What does that say? I colored over it. His stock. What? Help. No. Stock. Where it says, is there a stock year? Or is that my writing? Is it just stock?
It's stock.
Stock. Okay. So let's try again. Piss out on the lake with your brother in Dung Beetle, who loves to brag about his huge yearly exorcism and his stock propane and propane accessories. So it's Hank Hill.
Yep.
Your brother in Dung Beetle is Hank Hill. Okay. 1 p.m. Mandatory soft Krabby Patty secret formula game. Play with so-called mature baby back ribs who get into fucking matches over runs. Expect to hear lots of cursing and non-ironic name belching. This is what good crusty fashion family fun is all about. 3 p.m. Photo time. Stand between your uncle who smells like he bathes in Finnegan the Fainting Goat, Daniels, or Finnegan the Fainting Goat Daniels instead of Jack Daniels. I get it. Or your other uncle who smells like a dead transformer. Either way, it's a win gargle situation. The end. Elfine. Okay, so that's your family reunion itinerary, folks. Love it so much. It's wonderful. Okay. Now we gotta do the juicy metal bit. I like the fun part. Don't make me do it. Anyway, so we loosely have a topic sort of going on your idea, which was the stereotypes that people associate with autism or ADHD or things like that, and sort of how we don't really fit those, and in the ways that we feel like, yes, I mean, there's a lot of similar things about people who are autistic or ADHD or whatever, just neurodivergent in general. There are things that all autists do, people that all things that I can't talk, things that all ADHD people do, or there wouldn't be a classification for such, right? But also, there's so many different ways that people express themselves because everyone's personality is just different. Everyone is just a different human anyway. On top of that, so you have just regular ass humanity involved in that. But also, there are things that are characteristic of ADHD or autism that a lot of people who are diagnosed with it don't do. And I feel like we kind of wanted to talk about that today, and like in the ways that it sort of makes us question whether or not we like sometimes makes us like gaslight ourselves out of things or stuff like that.
Like,
but
do
also,
I really have this?
like, do I really have this? Right. But also it makes us sort of feel like people kind of think we're lying sometimes about this or doing it for fun or it's a fad or whatever. And just sort of wanted to talk about our feelings on that. And then also sort of give a little cap of what was going on this weekend. So
Yes.
where you want to start, since clearly I can't fucking talk today.
I guess we can start with this weekend and then dive into the
Okay.
topic.
So, I am definitely not working right now. We've discussed this on last week's episode, and the week before. And I just haven't really had my mental breakdown yet, as you know. I've been sort of trying to like make sense of everything that's going on and trying to protect other people's feelings around the situation and having to do a lot of explaining. And I'm very much a delayed emotional processor, so it takes me a while to sort of process my feelings. I was really missing my friend because, like, when big life things happen, I just want like the constant people in my life. So I'm like, Minder, help! Having emotional breakdown, need help. And Minder was sort of burnt out from work and needing some friend time too. So it just sort of worked out that we were both able to do this weekend. So I packed up and drove down here because I needed a small break from my life. And Amanda's house is always like a little time capsule of a break from reality for me. It's like I just walk in and I'm like, oh, it's all the same. Everything feels nice and right and as it should be in this place. So I can just relax. And we've discussed this before. Like, we don't have to entertain each other. Like, there's no necessary entertaining. We literally went to the grocery store, bought food, of which I did not buy enough of because I'm dumb. And also, like, we literally we binge watched The Legend of Korra, all 4 seasons in 2 days, because that's what we do. Like, this is our life. And we literally we didn't speak much really about anything the whole fucking time, but it's fine. We just, other than my emotional breakdown of which she sat with me and was like, there, I love you, friend. I wish I wasn't autistic and knew how to handle these situations better. I was like, you're doing fine. I love you. Thank you. It was a small little emotional breakdown that I needed to have for sure. Which I think Legend of Korra helped with.
Yeah.
We thank Korra for her avatar skills and her also emotional breakthrough skills.
Crying all the time.
Yeah, so it was just a little weekend for me. A little Goose Fraba weekend.
Yeah, so it's Sunday and she came down Thursday. Got to see your sister.
Yeah, I got to see my sister and my little niece, who I missed terribly. We probably won't see again for a little bit until we go in May for my brother's graduation down to Florida.
He's graduating high school?
Yes, he's graduating high school. My baby brother,
who I was there for the birth.
There for the birth. Was there the day she drove me to the hospital to meet him, like was there the day he was born, is going to be graduating high school and turns 18 the day before he graduates.
Yeah, nice.
So yeah, that's probably the next time I'll see the baby. I hope not. I want to see her before then, but we'll see. Anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you for being a friend.
Thank you for being a friend.
Travel down the road and back again. And we did a lot of that too. There's a lot of singing going on this weekend.
Like, there was one part in Legend of Korra where one character tries to apologize and say sorry, and the other one, it's too late for sorry. And then we're like, we just look at each other, it's too late to apologize.
Too late. And then I think we ended up singing most of Bohemian Rhapsody
until I got distracted by the
heat.
And then I just hear her like,
Mama.
Sorry. I got distracted.
She left me hanging and I was like, wait, we have more to sing. And then we stopped because but yeah, that's what we do. I can't help it. I hear something that sounds similar to a song or reminds me of a song, and then I have to sing the song. I can't help it. There's no stopping that. If I stop it, it causes me physical pain. Like, I have to say it. I can't help it. Because my brain works apparently in music terms. If it's a song and it reminds me, I must speak it aloud. So I guess that's kind of a stereotypical thing. It's like,
I know Granger does it all the time.
Does he? Yeah. Yes. Okay. I mean, well, that tracks. But I just feel like my brain, music has always been something that's very helpful for me. It's one of my I don't know if it's a special interest so much as it's like something I've always used to help
process
feelings and emotions, because those people had words for what I was feeling and I could relate to that, but I didn't have to come up with my own words to explain it. So it would help me process things I was going through. Like, I have times in my life where I'd listen to certain kind of music, and if I need to go back and revisit that time in my life for some reason to process something else, I'll go listen to that music, and it helps me recall those memories and process through those memories. So it's like something that's very helpful for me and always has been. But it's also something that like invades my everyday life in situations like this, where someone says it's too late for sorry, and I have to go, it's too late to apologize. Like, I can't help it, right? Like, I cannot help it. So I don't know. It's just fun to have a friend that you can just enjoy being around each other and not have to like entertain each other, right?
And then I hope to go up there for our 1-year anniversary.
Yeah, we're gonna have a big 1-year hangout. We're still trying to figure out exactly what all of that is going to entail, but there will be cake. There will be cake. I'm going to probably have our logo printed on a cake.
Nice.
I think so. I think it's gonna happen. We'll have a little round cake with a little round logo on it.
So Jeremy's what flavor though?
Oh, I don't know what flavor you want.
Well, you can't have chocolate.
We can do half and half.
That's true.
I could do, yeah, we do square cake and do half and half. Doesn't have to be a round cake. We'll be fine.
We'll be fine. And have all the names like happy birthday, you know?
Yeah.
And we have to have like Jeremy's birthday.
Yeah, so we have Jeremy's birthday. We figured out a fun thing about Jeremy, didn't we? So because we just, I don't know, numbers, right? Like we're just, I don't know. It's just a thing, right? I just wanted to know. So weirdly enough, we figured out that Jeremy made his first appearance on the show on episode 13. Okay. That episode aired on July 26th, which is double 13. And then we figured out if you put, what is it, fucking Jeremy the psychic cat?
Yeah, fucking Jeremy the psychic cat. That's 26 letters.
26 letters. So we're like, oh my God, he was meant to be in the world. Like,
and I think fucking Jeremy is 13 letters.
Yeah, fucking Jeremy is 13.
Or psychic Jeremy.
Yeah, psychic Jeremy is 13 letters.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is definitely a weird numerology thing. So we are happy to have he really was a gift from the gods, is what I'm getting at. So he really was. So we're gonna celebrate Jeremy's first birthday on July 26th of this year.
He's a Leo.
Jeremy's a Leo. I will pull Jeremy's birth chart, and I will do Jeremy's astrology reading on Jeremy's birthday episode. I will do it. We'll figure out he's definitely a Leo sun. We'll figure out what his moon is and what his rising is. Because we don't know. Well, he'd be one. He's one. He's one today. Well, not one today. He's one on July 13th.
We'll have to look at the time that we either recorded or posted that video.
Yeah, I'll have to look at the recording.
That'll be his birth time.
Yeah, I'll have to look at the recording. Yeah, and then Jeremy's conception date would be the day that he was birthed. The day that we actually recorded it was Jeremy's conception date. We were
early because we were.
Yes, it was very early.
I think it was like
May,
like April or May.
Yeah. So he didn't take very long to cook, but he was born only a few short months, who knows, weeks, possibly after his conception. So his immaculate
with his 2 moms.
With 2 moms. See, we're a progressive show with 2 moms here. Jeremy is our little baby. So yes, so we're going to celebrate the show as a whole's first birthday, and then we have Jeremy's first birthday coming up and a few months after that. So it's going to be a fun-filled year. Anyway, that's pretty much, I think, all we have for this weekend. We're just a fun little relaxing hangout, and I appreciate Aminder so much for letting me come and emotionally dump all over her and park on her couch for a few days and wallow in my own misery and just be a whiny bitch. And it was a good.
And I felt bad. Time. She's like, here's all these ideas I have. And I'm like, I don't have any ideas.
But you know what, though? It was needed because I was trying to do that thing where I push through and deny the feelings by working harder on things. And like, I went 1,000 miles an hour to hitting a brick wall, doing something every single day, to now I'm not doing anything.
And disrupting your routine.
Disrupting my routine. And so I was trying to use work. Like, I was trying to throw myself into this and like work super hard on the show. And like, I made scheduled a bunch of posts, and I started working on some t-shirt designs and all this stuff. And I just hit the mic. But it was like I was trying to force it to happen, and things weren't just like happening like they usually do. And it wasn't easy. It didn't feel easy to me. like it usually does. And then finally she was like, I don't know, I'm just really decision fatigued. And I'm like, oh no, me too, I'm sorry. Cue emotional breakdown. So yeah, it's fine. Yeah, so I think that's all we got for this weekend wrap up. But it's nice to see her, but I gotta go home today.
Yep, she do.
I do.
I gotta go work tomorrow.
Yeah.
She gotta get back to her life.
I gotta go do my
rescue your husband from your kids.
Yeah, he's doing well. It's just I have to get back to therapy. I have a therapy appointment on Monday, bright and early at 9:15. So
physical therapy.
Yeah, physical therapy. So, and then I gotta get back to brain therapy too. I gotta go to the fucking psychologist because I'm not psychologist, therapist, because am the struggle bus right now. So I gotta message her and see if she's still able to see me because it's been a while since I've been to her. But that was a burp. Anyway, let's talk about our topic.
Okay. So one thing that I think of, like the whole, and I see videos of this, is the whole like T-Rex arms things that people say like they kind of associate with ADHD, but I'm like, I've never really seen myself like
I've never done
that.
Just
like stand there and you kind of just kind of like do this, like you don't know what to do with your hands, you kind of just do this. It's like never really like I tend to like cross my arms a lot, but that was more because I was heavy and I was trying to hide everything.
Yeah,
but that's more because like that's my version of what the fuck do I do with my hands? So just cross them.
Right. Yeah, I don't notice T-Rex arms often in myself. I do notice it a lot in my youngest child. But it's not a thing that I've done very often. I will say like the flapping, I actually do that more than I thought I did. And I figured it out like either in super high stress situations or when I'm really excited. A lot of times when I'm really excited, I call it the happy flap. I'm like, oh my God, yay! Like it's my own version of a flap, you know. Noah does that too when he's excited. He'll do a little happy flap. And I just think it's the cutest thing in the world. But yeah, so I like that was one that I always thought about too for like stereotypes. It's like, well, do they flap their arms or rock back and forth? And it's like, I mean, yeah, but not like stereotypical like all the time, you know, like not that there's anything wrong if someone you know does do that, but it's just I don't experience that. And when these things, I think the problem comes about when these things are expected behaviors and required for a diagnosis. It's like
it's like a performative thing.
Yeah. I feel like when I'm answering, especially for my kids, because I have had to do a lot of assessments and answer a lot of questions for both of my children. And a lot of these things they're looking for, the questions they're asking, I'm answering no to a lot of these more stereotypical things. And it's like, I'm like, okay, well, does my kid really not have autism? And it's like, I think the one that gets me the most out of all the stereotypes is that they have little to no empathy. And it's like, most autistic and ADHD people that I know are the most empathetic people.
It's the whole showing it.
Yeah, it's not that there is none. There's an issue.
Like we're not sociopaths.
Yeah, it's like but the questions on the assessments are asked in a way. It's like, do they show empathy towards others? And it's like, of course they do. It just doesn't look like everything else does. And I don't know. It's difficult to answer some of these questions definitively. And they're always looking for a yes or a no answer. And it's like, these questions don't have yes or no answers.
Gray areas for these.
Correct. And I think that's how so many people are misdiagnosed or underdiagnosed, is because the criteria is looking for a black and white explanation, a black and white set of boxes to tick off. Like, these are the things that happen when you are autistic. It's like, no, there is an array of things.
It's called spectrum for a reason.
Correct. And I feel like if we could start testing on that scale, like give someone that circle, right? That color circle, and like the scale from like 1 to 10 can be in each of these areas of this of their life.
Or like instead of yes or no, like instead of saying like do they display empathy towards me, have it like how do they present empathy? Like how does empathy present in them?
Yeah, how do they show concern for others? And it's like, then you could explain it. And if that's an atypical, whatever the fuck that means, response, then you could go from there. And it's like, I wish things weren't so, I wish it wasn't so required to be so black and white and have such definitive answers to things, because it's
like we might be logical, but these tests are not logical.
Correct. And it's like, I can't tell you about my kid in a 50 question black and white answer test. I can't. I can sit down with a psychologist and discuss how my child behaves and the things that I feel like are issues for him or things that might not present the same as his peers. And then we could have a whole discussion and go from there. But these rating scales don't give an accurate picture of the child, of the person who is looking to be diagnosed. And it's like, it makes it difficult. And then I read through these things and it's like, well, I don't do half of this shit either, but I'm very clearly autistic. So it's like, I don't feel like it's an accurate representation. And if you're not accurately testing for these things, then how are you accurately diagnosing things? You're not, right? So it just becomes an issue. And I feel like the criteria are important in one way is like I understand the whole, if you've met one person with autism, you met one person with autism, because that's true, because everyone is different. But that's the same thing as if you've met one human, you've met one human, right? However, there is a characteristic group of things that could present in people with autism that most people with autism probably deal with in some degree or another that make us autistic people. But where it becomes a problem is when that starts, where a black and white answer on something that is not black and white is what's being used to categorize that stuff, or when stereotypes are being placed on people that make it difficult for someone to believe they might be autistic, blocking them from getting the care that they need. So that's kind of my thought on the matter. And I feel like, stereotypes can be dangerous, but they also can be helpful in noticing that something's going on. Like the flapping, like most people who are autistic have some kind of like happy expression that they do, some way in which their emotions get them excited, or they get sad, or they get worried, and like they do something, they stim, right? Like for me, I don't flap much. I play with my fingernails. I do this thing where I stick my fingernail like up underneath the other one. And it's like, I do this all the time with my fingers. And that is how I stim. Or I'll do this with my fingers, because this is way less noticeable than all the time, right? My level 2 child could give a fuck what you think about his flappy arms. Like, he doesn't care. This is what he does when he's excited. So I have a little bit more social awareness at 33 years old. And I know that flapping your arms around as a 33-year-old woman who has to hold a job is probably something you're going to get looked at funny for. So in order to mask my excitement or my stress or whatever, I do a stim that's less noticeable to people, but that's masking. It's not that I wouldn't flap if I was happy in a certain situation. It's that in some situations I can't express myself that way because I know what the negative consequences for that are. So, and I don't want them. So I've learned how to mask it. What about you? Sorry, I sort of started talking. Just kept going.
That's okay. Yeah, I know we fully covered like stimming because I just edited a video with stimming, but
yeah.
So
I just stomped on her foot.
No, you're fine. But yeah, and the whole, just like another stereotype, the whole, like you said, the whole I'm feeling thing, and like I have a hard time showing, I think, emotions properly on my face, which I think is a sign, but. And it's like, it's not that I'm not inwardly feeling it. Like, I'm feeling it. I just don't know how to act. Like, how to show it properly on my face, like socially acceptable.
Right.
And so, like, the whole, I think that's where the whole, like, well, autistic people are just unfeeling. Either they're unfeeling or they have breakdowns, like meltdowns all the time. Like, there's no gray area for that. There's no middle ground. It's either, well, they're either unfeeling robots, or they're having meltdowns all the time over the slightest thing. It's like, why can't it be both?
Right. It totally could be both or somewhere in between. And it just because, like you said, just because you don't outwardly show that you are feeling a thing in the way that people might think you should, doesn't mean that you don't have empathy for people. You just have a harder time visually expressing that you are empathizing with someone, which I think is sort of why I get wrapped up sometimes in over explanation, because I don't want someone to think that I'm not trying to listen or understand them. So I try to like, and that's where like I had this thing happen to me one time where I'm like telling someone like, I understand you because I've had a similar situation happen to me, not comparing, not trying to one up, but I'm just like, oh yeah, like I have a hard time going, oh my God, I'm so sorry, because that feels insincere to me, because I don't know how to make a face that conveys how truly sorry and sincerely feeling for you that I am. I don't feel like a facial expression is going to cover it. So I try to say, I remember a similar feeling in which this happened to me, where now I can feel you because I've felt a similar thing before. I'm not trying to steal your thunder or one up you or even compare our situations, because they're always going to be very different. But like you with me yesterday, like with everything I'm going through, and you said, I know I felt this way because, and you explained a situation. You're like, I know it's not the same thing, but I can understand the feeling you're having because I've felt a similar feeling when this was happening to me. And I understood in that moment that she was not, even without the explanation, I knew what she was doing. I knew that she was showing me she cared and understood by giving me a situation in which she felt a similar feeling. So she could, like, I feel you. And I've never really taken those situations as someone one-upping people, which is why I was surprised when I learned that people thought that that's what I was doing to them. Because that was never my intention. I'm not really a person who has ever really tried to one-up people. It's not something that I'm not saying I've never done it, but I'm just saying, like,
built for, like,
I'm not, it's not really how I operate.
For me, it's different for when someone's trying to, like, cry about a situation and just explain the situation, but then someone else is like, oh, well, I felt that way because of this. To me, that's different than, man, I'm so tired. I got like 6 hours sleep last night. Well, I got 4.
Yeah.
It's like that, to me, that's one-upping.
Yeah. Look, you're tired. I only got 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
That's one-upping.
Or for me as a single person, oh, just wait until you have kids.
Yeah.
It's like, you
think you're tired. You don't even have kids, right? So it's like, first of all, fuck you. Yeah. Second of all, it's not my fault you had to have a bunch of crotch goblins that make you tired. Like, you know what I mean?
Like, I'm a human. I'm allowed to be tired.
Exactly. Like, her and I are obviously very different in the way that she's child-free, and I have 2 of them. And she's doesn't really, at this point in her life, or really that I've known, really ever entertain the idea of having children. Doesn't mean that if she wants to change her mind, she can. And if she doesn't, guess what? She doesn't fucking have to. Like, that's her choice. But I don't ever feel like her being tired. Oh my gosh, I'm really tired. I'm like, well, I mean, you don't even know what tired is because you don't even have kids. Like, that's not really a fair thing to say to someone, fucking child-free or otherwise. Like, you don't know their life. And I think that's another big thing that's resonating with me right now, just because of my situation, which we sort of talked about last night. It's like, just because you can do it doesn't mean someone else should be able to do it. And everyone, you can do it. And it's like, no, not everybody can do it. Not everybody can cut his freaking balls off. Okay. Like, they just can't. Sorry about that, buddy. But yeah, it's just not, it's not right to expect that because you are able to do something, that someone who looks similar to you, who you perceive has less issues than they do, should be able to do the same thing.
Right.
And unfortunately, that sort of situation has been sort of thrown in my face, especially since doing this. It's like, well, I can do this, so why can't you? And it's like, well, because I was doing the thing for a very long time, and now I can't because my body gave up on me and broke down, literally. So it's like, and even if I didn't have these problems, I'm not you. Like, I'm not you. So it's not feasible to assume that just because I can do something that someone else can do it too. So, or do it at the same level that I do it. So it's really not a good way to go about life. It's not a good viewpoint to have, because it's really not fucking true.
No.
But there's so many things people deal with that are not, you can't see it, not just emotionally, but I've been, especially since learning about mentally and physically, but especially since learning more about EDS, it is not something that you can physically see unless the person has gotten to a place where they're either on they either have a port for IVs that they have to take weekly, or they are in a wheelchair because they can't walk. But it's like, that gets confusing too, because I've seen a lot of people who use wheelchairs who actually can walk, but it's like, they can only walk so far. So if they're doing something where they're out longer for, longer than their body could actually physically walk them around without causing themselves pain, they use a wheelchair. And then someone sees you get up and walk out of a wheelchair, and the looks that some of these people get, like the videos I've watched where people are staring at people like, what are you in a fucking wheelchair for if your legs work? And it's like,
well, you have to be like a paraplegic or quadriplegic to be in a wheelchair.
And it's like, I don't know, maybe because they only work for 15 minutes and I needed to be out for 3 hours today.
It's like, also maybe fucking mind your own business.
Yeah, maybe mind your own business. Me being in a wheelchair and being able to walk is not taking anything away from you. Me using a wheelchair is not taking it away from someone else who needs a wheelchair, especially if I bought the fucking wheelchair. So it's like, do you know what I mean? Like, you don't know the situation. So it just blows my mind. Like, you cannot, It's really showing me the level of compassion and empathy and understanding and the level of mind your own fucking business that people need to adopt in this world.
Mhm.
Me included. Like, me included. I am no better than anybody else when it comes to this shit. I have done a lot of these
I
things.
judge people all the time.
For sure. Like, I'm a judgy bitch, right? So it's like a little life lesson for myself. Like, I need to be way less fucking judgmental because I'm about to be in so many situations where my ass is finna get judged. And it's already happening to me. And this just happened on March 1st. I'm only 17 days into this life. And it's already happening to me. So I'm really going to have to check my own self before I wreck myself here on a lot of this shit. It's a big slice of humble pie for myself. Understanding people that have invisible disabilities that you don't physically see. Like someone pulling into a handicap spot who gets out and walks perfectly fine to the door. Like you mentioned your mom. Like, yes, your mom has the use of both of her legs, but she's also been diagnosed with lupus and has had it since before you were born or just after? Before you were born. So lupus is another degenerative, invisible illness. She does struggle with walking. She can only walk for a certain amount of time before her legs swell, stuff like that, right? Like she has blood pressure issues and she has a pacemaker and all sorts of shit. So making her haul a bunch of shit across a whole ass parking lot, if she can park closer to the door, is going to conserve her energy to be able to do the tasks she needs to do while she's out. So why don't you fuck off and leave Curlin alone and let her park in her fucking handicap parking spot
that she got from a doctor.
That she got from a doctor, right? Like you can't, they don't just give those things out, like you have to have that, you have to have paperwork for that shit. Like the DMV don't just give that shit away, So like, it's not like something you can go purchase off of a rack somewhere. She needs it. So fuck off, like fuck off. Who cares? It's not your business. Mind your goddamn business. Also, you don't know if she's a caregiver for someone who's disabled. And maybe that person is home with another caregiver that they're paying money for. So she's going to park as close as she can while she has her handicap spot so she can get in the store, get what she needs, and get the fuck out quickly to get back to her person she's caring for. You don't know.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you don't fucking know. So mind your goddamn business. It costs you $0 to mind your fucking business.
And
right?
to be nice.
And to be nice.
I say as an absolute mean person.
Yeah. I say as someone who is not nice at all.
Like, I even told her when we were driving, I said, this is a reason why if I ever got a dash cam, it would not be able to have audio because I would not be able to listen to me be an absolute bitch to everybody on the road.
Yeah, she's got that road rage, man. And I thought I had road rage. This girl, she's like, fucking move.
Well, I don't tailgate people. I don't like swerve around people. I'm all bark and no bite. Okay.
Yeah, she does bark. That's true.
Yeah.
She's not erratically driving on the road. That's for sure. But yeah, anyway, any other things you want to say about that?
I guess not really to expound because we kind of like talked about it a lot, but not to really expound on that. But another thing, I'm just kind of thinking of like TikToks or reels and stuff that I've seen of like, this is how you know you have ADHD and everything. And one of the things is, this is where I think my autism takes over ADHD, where like they're just two wolves fighting inside of you. And it's the whole like, ADHD people like to rearrange their furniture all the time. And like, no, my autistic ass is like, no, keep everything the same.
Yes.
And so that's like how she said she comes to my house like a time capsule because like occasionally change a picture or something or some decor, but for the most part it's like, well, one, my living room can't really be arranged in any other sort of way, but like my bedroom can't be arranged in any sort of way. But I know people like that just constantly move stuff around, and I'm like, I just like my place and I like to have things where they are and I like to know where things are. And so I did a big thing where I completely rearranged my kitchen, like the cabinets in my kitchen. So that was my one thing that I did.
Yeah. But because even before when I was going to put your spices away, I was like, wait a minute, they're not there anymore. It's 13 years they've been in one space. And then I open a cabinet, I'm like, what is this? They're gone. But yeah, it's just, not everybody does the same shit, you know? Not everybody does the same shit. I can't think of any other like glaring examples.
Like ones I see all the time, like in videos.
Yeah, I'm sure there are many we're missing, but like the flapping is a big stereotype, and like you said, the moving furniture around with the ADHD and the T-Rex arms. But yeah, I think that's really all I have. But the point is that we're trying to make with this babbly ass episode is stop fucking judging people. You have no idea what the fuck is going on with them. You have no idea what they're going through. You have no idea what illness they're battling or anything like that. Like, if you see someone who is in a wheelchair, get up and walk, mind your fucking business. You have no idea why they got in that chair. If you see someone park in a handicap spot, get out and walk fine to the store. You have no idea why they're parking in that spot.
As long as they have a placard.
Right. As long as they have a placard or their license plate very clearly shows a handicap, like they're clearly marking that they should be parking in that fucking spot.
Otherwise, if they don't, then I do give them the side eye.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you can stare at them all you want if there's absolutely no visibility whatsoever that they are parking in that spot and that they should not be. Absolutely side eye them to death. But you need to leave people alone. Like, just leave people alone. Mind your own goddamn business. It costs you $0 to do so. And as someone who has done a lot of judging in my day, I'm saying this to myself. I am eating a large slice of humble pie myself. Being diagnosed with something that is life-changing. Like I told her last night, like, no, it's not cancer. No, I'm not dying. But like,
it's still abrupt change.
Still a massive fucking change. Very abrupt. I'm also autistic on top of it, which is already difficult because it's a massive life change and a massive routine change. And I do not do well with change, period, already. And then, so it's a lot for me to navigate right now. And I think the thing that I would appreciate most is people being gentle with me and people being understanding with me and giving me some grace right now. And I need to remember that if that's what I want, then other people want that too. So this is a lot of lessons being learned in this time for me. And I understand that all of this happened for a reason, but I told her last night, like, I truly do believe that this happened and it was supposed to. Like, I do believe that this was supposed to happen for my own things. I don't think everything, I don't want to say everything happens for a reason because I don't like when people say that to me. But like, for me personally, I believe this happened in my life for a reason in this moment. Like, there was a reason I needed this to happen. You don't have to believe that way, and that's fine if you don't. But for me personally, I believe this happened for a reason. And I'm going to take the lessons that this is going to teach me and do the best I can with those and learn what I'm supposed to learn. But I just want to throw a fit about it first.
Yeah, just let me be dramatic first.
Just let me be dramatic first. Like, I didn't even get a chance to be dramatic. I just went straight from
here's your life.
Here, March 1st is here's your life. You have to stop now, right? Or February 29th was, you know, go. Everything's the same to March 1st. Now you have, after everything has to stop. You have no idea what your life is going to be like now. We have all these question marks, all these unknowns. And then, oh, by the way, on a week from now, you're starting physical therapy and we're going to get started healing you already. And it's like, I don't even know what I'm healing from just yet. Can we I need to process this. Like, I need some time. And so I just never got that. And so I had a little, I think it was probably part 1 of emotional breakdown last night.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there will be more. So yeah, I think this is the emotional breakdown phase. This is where we cry it out, get it all out.
This is my crying girl phase.
This is my crying girl phase. I'm in my crying girl life, entering my crying girl era. We're going to process all these emotions out.
Like a Taylor Swift album.
It really does. It really does sound like a Taylor Swift album. Maybe I'll start listening to Taylor Swift. Who knows? Maybe I'll become a Swiftie.
Yeah.
I don't know what my life is anymore. Everything is on the table. Anything is possible at this point. So, like, I get to start completely over from scratch. I don't even know who I am anymore. So we just get to rebuild me however I want to be. Maybe I'll be a Swiftie. Later. 4 years later. After one massive fucking life rebuild, let's do another one, the universe says. Let's do one more. Why not? Right? So yeah, that's my life right now. You're gonna get to keep hearing about it somewhere on some platform. We'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of platforms,
yeah.
Are you ready for Jeremy?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna hit the folks with the Jeremy, but before we do, for those of you who are leaving us and do not want to stick around for the Chronicles of Jeremy, I'm sorry, because this is gonna be a good one. This is a good one. We're moving the plot along. And leaving you on another cliffhanger. But anyway, you may find us anywhere socials are platformed at the NDC podcast. Everywhere socials are platformed. All social platforms are linked in the show notes. Our YouTube channel is also linked in the show notes. If you want to watch this, now the only place that you can watch this is YouTube. I have re-separated our video from our audio content. I'm no longer posting videos to Spotify. It will only be posted on video. They will only be posted on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys want video evidence of this shit show, you must do so on YouTube only. That is the only place to get our video content right now. So I left the previous ones up that I did do. But from, here on out, the last few episodes on out, we will only be video on YouTube. Discord is still open. We are still looking for members to come hang out with us over there. It's a much more intimate setting. We have the OG crew over there, Ray and Micah, hanging out with us. We're going to start, hopefully planning some things with them, some little hangouts. We have our Patreon still under construction, still working on Patreon. We have a merch store under construction. We've come up with a couple of styles. We're going to refine and reform as we go. So all those things are coming up. If you want to send us an email, you can do that at the ndcpodcast@gmail.com. You can tell us we suck. You can share your own stories with us. Whatever you want to do. If you want to be a guest on the show, we're happy to take your inquiries there. And I think that's it. That's it. That's all I got for you today. So we love you guys if you're leaving us. And if you're not, we're going to hit the Jeremy. Here he is. And we're back.
We're back
with the Chronicles of Jeremy. We're on the other side, folks.
Mm-hmm.
It's all fuckery from here.
Mm-hmm.
We love it.
Like our lives.
Like our lives. It's all down here. All downhill from here.
All down here from hill.
All down here from hill. Damn it, Bobby.
Damn it, Bobby.
We can't devolve yet. We've not even read the fucking story.
Nope.
Oh, we get to let it all hang out now, folks.
Mm-hmm.
This is where the good shit lives. Anyway, we have a wonderful tale for you today, continuing our little saga of Jeremy here. I'm going to hit you with the previously. This is episode 49 story. I, once again, did it all myself. No AI involved. So we're going to hit it. Ready? Here we go. Previously on the Chronicles of Jeremy. Jeremy, encouraged by the loss of his Jeremy, encouraged by the loss of his one true love, rallied his friends to embark on an impossible mission to track down Velvet and rescue her from the Glamour Guild. The lovers are reunited once again, but bliss is short-lived as Jeremy discovered his beloved has been keeping a secret from him. She was not only the gorgeous black cat with a sassy personality, she was none other than Black Velvet, Duchess of Grey. Will our lovers recover from this bombshell news? Will the Duke of Grey allow his sister to leave the Glamour Guild? Will Finnegan ever make it through an episode without saying something stupid? Find out on this week's episode of The Chronicles of Jeremy!
Yay!
Yay! You like my little Legend of Korra announcer voice? I was like, as I'm typing this, it's all I could hear in my head was that fucking announcer guy from Legend of Korra.
I am currently wetting my
I'm
pants.
currently wetting my pants. Woo! Oh, we didn't put Tenzin in here.
Okay.
I gotta upload Tenzin. We have a new little video to pop in whenever we do something fun. Tenzin will be joining us from now on. Woo! That's my favorite. That's probably one of my favorite parts of the whole goddamn show is Tenzin and that woohoo. Okay, we're gonna hit the Jeremy now. Here we go. Jeremy, I'm sorry. I was worried if you knew who I was, you would treat me differently. I've always lived in the shadow of my family's name. You were the first person to see me not for my family name. Please, that doesn't sit right.
See me for me.
There we go. I was like, wait a minute, I didn't type that shit. I've always lived in the shadow of my family's name. You were the first person to see me for me, not my family name. Please don't be mad at me. I couldn't stand it if this tore us apart. You mean the world to me, and I know we can work through this. Velvet desperately examined Jeremy's face for any sign of that what? I can't read. God damn it.
You want me to read?
It's fine. I can do this. Velvet desperately examined Jeremy's face for any sign that the shock had worn off, but there were none. Shady lady, Finnegan said under his breath. Can it, Finnegan? Binky said. I get that, but you have no idea what this even means, do you? Velvet asked. No, Jeremy asked Velvet. Hold on. We're going to fix this right now because you know what I did? I made this in the dyslexic font. I'm going to read it from here on Canva because they don't have this shit on the other one, and I'm going to try reading the dyslexic font. That's what we're going to do. We're going to start from Jeremy. We're going to start from I get that. Okay, here we go. I get that, but you have no idea what this even means, do you? Jeremy asked Velvet. I know. I kept this from you and I've broken your trust, but if you could just give... Jeremy interrupted Velvet. No, Jeremy interrupted. God damn it! Velvet, stop. You need to listen to me. This is bigger than just the two of us. Your family has ruled this province for centuries. Many wars and peace treaties have come and gone in that time. One war in particular was incredibly devastating. There was a village, south of here, nestled in a beautiful valley between two mountains. One day, the King of Grey showed up to this village. The village leader came out to greet him. A meeting was held in the great hall, between the village leader and the king. The village was beautiful and bountiful. Crops thrived as well as the people who lived there. It was also the perfect location for a military installation. The king wanted the leader to give up his village to the king, and when the leader refused, the king killed him and took the village by force. The people tried to fight back, but they were outnumbered. They stood no chance against the king's forces. Innocent lives were lost that day, and what was once a beautiful village became a blood-soaked hellscape.
Damn.
Yeah. There was one shining moment that day, though. A young boy who had been training in the ways of magic had a gift of foresight, dreamt of this siege the night before it happened. He warned the village leader of this, but no heed was taken. This didn't stop the boy from preparing for the king's arrival, and when the dream became reality, he was ready to fight. He saw an opportunity to attack the king while he was distracted, and the boy took it. He came from behind with his sword and landed a devastating blow to the king's right leg. It is said that this blow did permanent damage to the king's leg, causing him to limp for the rest of his life. That village was my village. The leader was my father, and the boy was me. Cue all jaws drop on the floor. To be continued. That was rough.
Yeah.
That was really rough. This helps, but that was rough. That was really goddamn rough. Like, I hope you better go get the subtitles, because God help me, I can't read today. Like, I hope any of you could follow that shit. Basically what happened here is Velvet, her family, the king, her daddy, killed Jeremy's daddy. And now they're in love.
It's like a Romeo and Juliet situation.
Yeah. It's like a Romeo and Juliet situation. It sure is. Because we're going to pull from all the sappy-ass love stories. We are. I told you this was happening. Fucking Velvet's daddy killed Jeremy's daddy. And now they love each other. Now what?
He was just a poor boy.
He was just a little boy, and he watched his daddy get killed by Velvet's daddy.
Obviously, he didn't know at the time, but
And now they're in love.
now they're in love. And he was a little psychic cat boy.
And Jeremy crippled her dad.
So a nice little scar.
Yeah.
You wanna know how I got this scar?
You know how I got this scar?
Your boyfriend.
Oh no. So yeah, that was really rough to read. I don't know why, because my brain's physically dying. But just yeah,
And we're hungry.
And we're hungry. Yeah, I forgot food, so I didn't eat before we did this, but it's fine. That's it. That's all we got, guys. Go get your fucking subtitles so you can actually read this. Okay, go do that.
They'll be in the show notes.
Because God knows that was rough. And if I couldn't follow me, so I don't know how you could follow me. But I'm not reading it again because I can't. Obviously I can't. Reading it one more time didn't fix it the 14 times I had to stop and restart. So anyway, we love you guys. We're probably gonna get food now. Yeah. Okay. We love you. We'll see you next week. Not together for our 50th fucking episode. Neurodivergent Mean Review. It's coming. Get excited. Get hyped. Share it with your friends. At this point, there will have been an event out because I need to put an event up. I haven't yet. But by the time they hear this, there will be an event reminding you guys how we're doing this and what we're doing and when it's happening and how you can watch. Okay? We love you. Fucking goodbye.